Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time, I have with me a special fan from RedMagic to be able to cool your cell phone. It's called the RedMagic Cooler 05 Pro. Let's get started. I think everyone who enjoys gaming must recognize the RedMagic brand for their cell phones, which are quite powerful for gaming. But if you don't want to purchase a RedMagic but you like gaming, you might go so far as to purchase their fan. Especially if you have an iPhone, because they have the MagSafe feature, so it will stick. But if you don't have an iPhone, you could also get to enjoy it through an adapter. So look at the design. I think it's a very aesthetically pleasing fan. We're going to remove this decal. So on this back here, we're going to find a surface that's going to get very cool to be able to cool the device. On the bottom, we find your USB-C port to connect it to power and get it working. So it looks like an external module that you can perfectly place in the cell phone. In the box is also going to include its power cable. So notice here we have it. It's USB-C to USB-C. Simple, there's not too much complexity to it. And additionally, it comes with this magnet that you can place on your cell phone if you want it to work magnetically. Although obviously this has to be placed on a phone that you're sure you're not going to change anytime soon, because it's just going to sit there. So I personally don't like to stick this on too much, so I can use it on multiple devices. And it does come with some wipes to clean up before placement. So that's going to be all we have, plus your quick guide. So watch. If you have an iPhone, just simply bring it close and the device is going to immediately stick to the back of this device. So this would be the optimal use because you don't require another accessory. You just have your iPhone, you like to play games, but you feel like it gets too hot. Well, you put this on the back cover and that would be it. Obviously, you have to plug it into power to get it to start working, but you don't require any more accessories. If you have an Android device of some other brand instead, you could, as I say, stick this magnet sticker on the back cover so that you can subsequently leave this fan attached as well. However, this decal can spoil a lot the design of your device, so from my point of view, it is not the most recommended thing to do. Fortunately, this manufacturer also has an adapter that you can get, which is a small clip, so you're not going to need the magnet. So on this clip, you simply press to open and then you place the fan. And now you're ready to put it on the back of your cell phone. For example, on this model, you just simply open it back up and that's it. It comes in direct contact with the cell phone with a simple attachment without the need for you to ruin the design of your cell phone with that magnet sticker. So that's 3 ways you could come to use this fan. Let's try this clip to start with this device that I've personally been testing it, and I feel like it gets really hot, both in games and on camera. Obviously, the fan is focused on gaming, so we're going to run some content to demonstrate what the temperature of this device could get to be when gaming with the fan on. So, let's set up the fan like this. It's ready to cool this device. Now let's connect it to the USB port. Ideally, the other end should not be connected to the cell phone, although some cell phones may be able to power this device, but the battery will drain too much. The ideal is to connect it to a power bank. So in this case, I already connected it and see how it immediately reveals its RGB lights. Besides that, it has a transparent design that lets you appreciate the internal components. Then it can become a super attractive design for those who love to play and want to have a cool experience. But before I play with this fan, let me play without it so you can more or less see how hot this phone gets. So I'm going to play for a while. I'm going to put it in fast motion so this video doesn't take too long, and then I'll get back to you. In fact, to make things more complicated, we're going to be recording the screen so that it gets even hotter. So I'll be right back with you. 5 minutes playing, and we're going to check more or less how the temperature of this device is. It's at 40 degrees Celsius on this side and on the display side. 44.4, give or take 44.5. In fact, this device gets pretty hot on the front side, so the back cover doesn't seem to be that hot, but we're going to play around a little bit longer. Let's see, let's check it again. In this case, it's already at 43.4 degrees Celsius, give or take, this back cover. In front, it's even hotter, reaching 47.9 degrees Celsius, give or take. So it's time for us to put this accessory on. We're going to put it over here and we're going to power it up so that it can quickly get to cooling this device down. So watch, it's already plugged in. We're going to play for another while and then we'll come back and check what the temperature status is. So I've been playing for about 12 minutes now. We're going to check more or less what the temperature status is in this back area. Notice how the device is 21 degrees Celsius. It has managed to cool itself very well, although it's slowly rising, obviously because of all the heat that gets generated around it. But it can be quite useful for having a smooth gaming experience because it doesn't have that much heating. So it definitely gets to cool the device very well, and even if at times you want to cool the screen a little bit, you could also put it over here, because remember that on this device the screen gets to present quite a bit of heating as well. Notice that we have 43 degrees Celsius or so, but with the moment that you put this accessory on, it's likely that you'll get to cool it very well. Notice how it's already down to 36.1 degrees Celsius. So this fan can definitely get to give us a very good experience to be able to cool very well all devices. But it's time to put it to the test on an iPhone where we don't need the clip. We just need the fan and see how it's going to stick immediately. So let's do the same dynamic. Let's play around for a while with the screen at maximum brightness and also recording the screen to see what this device would be capable of without the fan attached. We're actually going to set the graphics to the highest quality possible and of course also at 120 frames per second to be sure that we're giving it a very complex test. So I'm going to play for a while and then get back to you. Notice the brightness of the screen on this cell phone has been turned down in this case while we're playing, possibly to try not to let it generate as much heat. But we're going to keep waiting because I don't feel like the device has reached a very high level of temperature yet. Well, I've been playing with the iPhone for quite a while now, but I think it's maintained a pretty remarkable performance. It's only hit 46. Well, I thought it was cooler. It's actually not that cool. So we're going to put this fan back on. We're going to put power back on it, and we're going to wait for this device to cool down pretty well before we do the measurement again. So I'm going to be playing around for another while and get back to you in a moment. Just a few seconds ago, I noticed that the screen went back up in brightness. So I think the iPhone definitely needs this type of cooling to maintain a much smoother experience when you're playing this type of content that can get a lot heavier, especially since it doesn't have any special cooling and you could try to limit the performance of your screen so that it doesn't get so hot. So I think the experience is pretty good with this fan. After all this time playing around, I feel like on the iPhone it has even better cooling than on the other device I tested. Let's check right now how the temperature is, and it notes 17 degrees Celsius, although it's slowly creeping up after we've removed the fan. But if we specifically appreciate the temperature that this fan reaches, you notice that it's 11.2 degrees Celsius and it's going down. It is definitely capable of cooling the backs of all these cell phones quite well. It is getting lower and lower. At this moment, it is 8 degrees Celsius, 7, up to 6.5 degrees Celsius. It keeps going down. It even went below 5 degrees Celsius. It is already below 4 degrees Celsius at this moment, and it keeps going down. It has just dropped below 3 degrees Celsius, and it has already dropped below 2 degrees Celsius, and it seems to be dropping below 2 degrees Celsius as well. We're going to see if it gets down to 0 degrees, but right now it looks like it's already stabilized at 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is a very cold thing, definitely. If it looks like it just peaked, don't watch, it's already started to go down. So it looks like it just took a little bit of time before it went on and on and on down. Now it's just taken a little bit of time at 1, but watch, it's already started to go down as well. I'm going to wait until I see if it gets to 0 degrees Celsius, although it's already gone back up a bit, then I think this will be the limit of the fan. Definitely very good cooling for all this type of devices. Even heat condensation is reached in this part. So there is no doubt, if you want to have excellent cooling when playing with your iPhone or other cell phones, you can perfectly enjoy this special fan from RedMagic. But it is not only an accessory to cool, but also to customize your experience since it has an app. So let's scan this QR code to access the app. Notice we have it here. Let's install it. The app is going to ask you for Bluetooth permission, obviously to detect this accessory. Then we're going to select we're with this fan. We're going to add it and it's ready to go. So now it appears at the bottom and we can configure it. In this part, we could turn the fan off in case we are doing something else and we don't want it to be spending more power, or we could turn it back on. Another thing we can do is adjust the heat dissipation if we want it to be a little less or we want it to be as extreme as possible. So it strikes me that it wasn't even on the highest and still gave us excellent cooling. And finally, we also have the lights adjustment in case we want a breathing color just to go on and off smoothly in some specific mode. Or we can also set any color we want to be projected on the back cover. We could also have the strobe mode with some specific color, and notice that the device will also be switching between these different effects, or we simply have the multiple color that will be varying between different shades. So these are the options that we have available through their app, so you can configure it, and through this app you can also manage other accessories that RedMagic has available. So that's a lot of accessories and they all give you an excellent experience, definitely. This iPhone is very cool right now, ready to play a good game. So for now, this has been all for this video. If you liked it, you know you can point it out, and we'll see you next time.